Well, it is already Tuesday, which means it's time to do a new video. Get ready. Today I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about nonstop since yesterday. I've been thinking about conversations I've had on the phone and over the internet and in person with people in the past week, and hearing them. Some people express how they're angry at now they know what they know. They're angry at how much was stolen from them all those years in evangelical Christianity, and but they're happy to know the gospel. Um, some folks are even they've they're still grappling with some old doctrines that pop up in their head every once in a while and cause them anxiety and things like that. And but they come up and they encourage me on the internet and say, "Thank you, Jeff, for your videos," and which really encourages me. And everybody's on this journey, and I have had a heck of a journey. I understand the anger, because you were duped and you were robbed. One person said, "Oh, I can't. I'm having trouble not being angry because we were so duped." And this person is enjoying now listening to the gospel and listening to Mike's teachings, and I believe she was listening to Galatians when she told me all that, and but she's happy what she's hearing now, and that's great. And but I'm really thankful for all these people. Um, and in my journey, I think a lot of you know, I've shared this. I shared it in a very long video a couple of years ago, my experience where I was a teenage preacher. I escaped my religion and my religious home by becoming an exchange student for a year. And while I was away for that year, um, I discovered the gospel and it meditated on me. And then I came home. My family didn't like it. They forced me to go to church. They actually forced me through some Christian counseling, which was kind of like what you would call reparative therapy in a way. I went through a lot that year back, but once I turned 18, I left home, never went to church. Um, Something happened in my mid 20s, and I wound up going to this Bible college. A friend recommended it to me because I told him I didn't want anything mainstream religion. I didn't want anything mainstream Christian. And she said, "Well, this isn't mainstream." Well, it turned out to be Norval Hayes Bible College Word of Faith. And I really, I everything in me, when I got there, I realized these people don't have it. But I observed them, and I had things happen to me while I was there. So I tried applying what they said, but deep down inside, everything in me was fighting it. It's like, this is wrong, but I couldn't access why. In hindsight, now looking over the years, um, my experience was very emotional and pretty traumatic, and it's the closest thing I can tell to what PTSD is, post-traumatic stress disorder. And when I listen to some of the people on the internet, they kind of describe how it has their going through religion and coming out of religion has been traumatic, and it sounds very similar. So I can tell you, I understand. I've been through the journey. I, a year and a half into that Bible college, I woke up one morning and all I thought of was, Jesus said, "It is finished." And I said, "You're damn right it's finished. These people here at the college don't know what they're talking about." And I walked away from that too. And, I was like, I know everybody is saved and there's no judgment coming and there's no Armageddon coming and everything. But all that trauma and everything that was heaped upon me, it took me years afterwards of taking out the trash. I was trying to reconstruct and get back to the gospel I had come to understand years and years before that. And it was years of taking out the trash and like self-fixing. Um, And that whole time, I could never explain to people when I was in Germany and I came to understand the gospel, I couldn't explain to the people I was living with because none of them were religious, none of them believed in God. They didn't know the religious background I had just come out of and into this wonderful grace I was finding in the gospel. They wouldn't have related. When I came home, same thing. My family didn't like what I had to say, so I couldn't explain to them what I went through. And so I never got to share the gospel with anybody. Years later, I heard that Mike Williams was preaching the gospel, and then in 2006, I found out he had a webcast. And this had been over 15 years after the Bible college, and I still was putting my puzzle back together. And I pretty much had it together. I had the fundamentals of it together, but I didn't have it like I knew it when I came home from Germany. I was still struggling. I knew it was all in me, but that trauma, it just, there was damage. I listened to the first webcast and I listened to Mike explain something. And before he could finish explaining it, I was like, yes, this is what that is. And it's like, oh my God, somebody who sees this the way I do. And so I'd listen to webcasts now and then. And it was helping me put things back together, finish the puzzle that I had worked for years putting back together that had been blown apart by Christianity. It was a long journey, and it was torturous in many ways, but I'm thankful for it. I wish it didn't have to go that way, and it didn't have to go that way, but I wish it didn't go that way, but I'm thankful where I'm at now. And I'm thankful for all of you that encourage me so much when I talk to you or you comment on my videos and encourage me. Thank you so much. I also want to thank, most of all, Mike Williams for giving me the opportunity to work for the Gospel Revolution, to share the gospel, to teach people the gospel, and to continue the learning the gospel myself. It has been wonderful therapy for me, wonderful therapy for me. And uh, and the experience with Mike has been great, and learning with him and from him and everything has been wonderful. So what I want to say is um, you may feel robbed, you may feel anger, you may have had bouts of anxiety where you love the gospel but things are coming up. It is part of the journey, but you can be very thankful for where you are now, and I truly am, and I'm thankful for all of you and Mike too. So have a revolutionary week and enjoy the rest of the journey.